to Testimony, and thank you so much for tuning in with me again on this Sunday. Stay tuned. We have Dr. Prather will be joining me in a few seconds, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, like I said, we have Dr. Prather with us here today, so let's welcome him in. Good morning, Dr. Prather.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Great.
Well, we all know, for those of us who know you, which I can't think of anyone who don't know how much of a great doctor you are, but what they may not know is that you're also a Christian doctor.
Well, thank you very much.
Lord knows we need more and more Christian professionals, and we do have some, but it's good to bring it to awareness of the ones that we do have. So just tell us a little bit, what started your journey with the Lord and how long you've been walking with Him?
Well, Veronica, I'm 57, and my earliest memories of faith and knowing that God loved me and I loved God was really probably age 4. I used to wake up early on Sunday mornings and watch the different Christian programs when the rest of the family was asleep, and I always felt attracted to those shows, and I had no doubt that there was a God, that God loved me, that Jesus was the Son of God, and that it was all part of a plan. And I guess I've stayed with that faith my whole life. Like everyone, I've had my ups and downs and growth, and maybe times when I didn't grow like I should, but I've always felt a strong conviction of faith.
Oh, great. Even that young, it just goes to show that God knows how to touch people even at a young age. So while you were on your journey with the Lord, can you tell us if you ran into some little hard bumps along the way and realized God was still there?
I did. A few heartbreaks with relationships growing up, boyfriend-girlfriend things. A few times when I felt maybe that friends were mad at me or I wasn't popular, the things all kids go through. But I always knew through that, well, I guess I figured it out, that it was me and not anything that God wasn't doing for me. It was just me needing to grow up and be more mature and learn life's lessons. Just active church. I was sharing with you, I grew up in the Episcopal Church here in Opelousas, and in high school converted to Catholicism, and that's kind of a long story. I could get into that if you like. And then ended up falling in love with a good Irish Catholic woman, so it's good that I had converted, and we've been married 35 and a half years.
Wonderful.
Raised our kids in the church. So I've been blessed with good church influence in my life. In college, I actually hung out with 7 Southern Baptists, and we had a Christian singing group called the Living Circle, and got to sing quite a bit around the South, and they had a great influence on me. And I guess in college is when I really grew in my faith the most, because Baptists are very good preachers and they're very strong in the Word, and I read the Bible, especially the Gospels, more than I ever had, and really developed a deep personal relationship with Jesus during those years.
Awesome.
And then going through medical school all the years and the struggles of becoming a physician can be quite challenging, and I know without a doubt, without God holding me up the whole time and my wife's support, I would have never made it. So I've always felt humbled by the opportunity to be a physician, and then practicing medicine these past 29 years every day. I try to start the day, with prayer and ask God to guide my steps, because I'm only an instrument. God's the real healer, and
wonderful.
Hope I can just keep growing.
Well, does it come a time where you see that you can use the love and compassion that God has given all of us, but is working also in you? You are able to give it back to your staff and the children that comes in to your clinic.
That's what I pray for every day, and I hope I don't fall short too often. It's a work in progress, and I don't take God's grace and love for granted. But it's humbling, and I certainly feel unworthy of all the grace God has blessed me with. Wonderful parents, wonderful community of Opelousas to grow up in, so many good teachers, good friends, wonderful wife, 3 wonderful children. I just feel blessed beyond measure. Wonderful patience. I truly love my patients, and sometimes I think maybe the greatest gift God gave me as a physician, and I don't mean this to be funny, but is just a deep love for my patients, and I really do feel that, and it makes it very easy to work hard and focus on my patients' needs, because they're like family. I don't think of them as a business. I think of them as, this this is more than a business. It's God's work, and it's a calling, and something that I thank God for every day.
Well, we all know that one of all the gifts that God has given us, the greatest one is love. Mm-hmm. So you must have had your head sticking up high to get double doses.
Maybe so. And I'm adopted, so I even feel extra special love that God placed me in such a wonderful, loving home.
Awesome.
And my father, I was sharing with you, was a partner and a pediatrician for 45 years in Opelousas, and he was such an inspiration, such a good Christian man, such a devoted physician. I don't think anybody ever worked harder to serve their patients than my dad. I think he truly holds the world record on house calls.
Awesome.
And it was a privilege growing up as an only son, real close to my dad, to learn at his side and be inspired by him.
Well, I thank him for even instilling that much into you and everybody else in the family. Was there ever a time where you felt, I feel like giving up? I'm not going to continue this journey. Things are getting too hard with people and the way things, people can act sometimes. Did you ever come across that situation?
I had a few periods in my life when I had severe sleep deprivation, and I kind of went crazy and for a few days, and was very depressed, but I never seriously thought about suicide. And I always felt God's love, even in the dark times. I never was really angry at God. I always felt like, well, something's wrong, what is it? And then it was like I got a ping from God, and the answer, it was me. It was my arrogance or whatever that I needed to grow beyond. And so I know that sounds funny, that I never doubted God or never gave up on God, but honestly, never did. I always felt peace in my heart, and I always felt love from God. And just a few times, low times that everybody goes through at some time in their life.
Definitely. I definitely can agree with that and understand that fully. So I just thank him that he kept you with strength and the grace. And going back to saying how you love your patients and all, it just goes to show that when God have a calling on your life, and you have the will to accept what he wants to do, he places you in a position to do it. And what better place than to have that kind of love with patients that are sick or in need of something, for you to help cure through the hands of the Lord. Right.
It's a great blessing, and I pray for good health so that I can continue another 29 years. My wife would like me to retire, but I told her I'd go crazy. I'm just not the kind of person that could just sit at home. I love going to work. I love my staff. I love my patients. I love the challenge. Medicine is so interesting. You learn every single day. And so I just ask God to keep me strong and healthy so I can be a nice long career guy like my dad was and my grandpa, and following so many other wonderful physicians in this community.
Oh, so your grandfather was a physician?
He was a physician also, and practiced into his 80s, yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's just a family blessed with physicians. Well, that's good. I mean, it just goes to show that, you giving back with the knowledge, wisdom, and added with love back on out there. So you also mentioned your wife, as sweet as she sounds. I have never met her, but it just goes to show God also gave you the right partner to help keep you humble and in good spirit.
Well, you're right about that. I joke that my wife, if I get arrogant, which I have a tendency to do at times, or get carried away with myself, think I'm a big fish in a little pond, boy, she'll cut me down at the knees real quick. And I think, she's a wonderful wife that she does, because she keeps me grounded so well, and she has the wisdom of a good wife. And she's definitely kept me on the straight and narrow for almost 36 years. And meeting her was, I have no doubt, heaven sent. We met at Chico State Park, and I asked her to marry me two dates later, and it didn't take long. I knew she was the one God sent me, and we've been very much in love all that time.
Awesome. I wish she was here today, so I can personally thank her for also letting God use her, because she knows the Word as well. From my understanding,
she has a very strong faith. When I met her, she was what you call a daily communicant, a Catholic who goes to Mass every day. Her faith means everything to her, and she's just a wonderful wife, mother, friend, daughter. She's a real inspiration.
Well, my word to you, Miss Prather, while you're watching, thank you. we need a lot of strong women to help support our men, and especially if they're doing the work for the Lord.